By the way, time travel to the future is available to us right now, according to Einstein's special theory of relativity. For example, let's say someone were to go to Haneda Airport and board a plane headed to Okinawa. Upon arrival, that person will be about 100 millionth of a second further into the future than I am. What's that mean? According to a special theory of relativity, time moves slow for objects as they approach the speed of light. For example, if you go one near the speed of light, you could reach a point where time only moves half as fast as you. If you were to keep running at that speed for 24 hours, 48 hours would elapse for the rest of the world, meaning you would jump one day into the future. Understand, Hoen Kyoma? Why are you singling me out? I do my best to hold back, but it looks like Mikise Kurisu wants to pick a fight. I wish he hadn't said that name in front of so many people. Far too risky to let her know my true name. That's not really time travel now, is it? Now Professor calmly makes an objection. True, Makise Kurisu's example isn't strictly time travel per se. But I never expected an older man, Professor at that, to refute an 18-year-old girl. Maybe just testing the genius girl's resilience. Yes, you're right. Genius girl readily concedes a point. If she were a normal 18-year-old girl, it would be impossible to remain calm in front of all these people. A normal 18-year-old girl would panic when refuted by such a distinguished-looking professor. And yet, Mikise Kurisu is giving off an aura of gutsiness that says, I can take this guy on. And what about going to her past? Going to her past is possible right now. Take a look at the sky at night. You can see light from tens of thousands of years ago, can't you? Well, that's not time travel either. This time it's a nearby student who objects. Well, I was just getting started. Was it just me, or did Kurisu look a little nervous just now? Let's say we wanted to make a machine that could physically transport people through time. What would we need? The best candidates for this are cosmic strings and wormholes. A cosmic string is a string-shaped crevice with extreme mass. A string-shaped crevice? That must be how they enter our universe. But do cosmic strings really exist? The crevice is about as wide as an elementary particle, at least as long as the diameter of a galaxy. It has immense mass, so it distorts space-time. If you were to travel through that distortion, you could make a full circle on a string in less than 360 degrees. In short, you could do something resembling a warp. This is called a space-time angular deficit. When you pass through an area of angular deficit, transit time becomes 0. Now, we apply this to a cosmic string moving at near light speed. According to the special theory of relativity, time will flow slower for a cosmic string in relation to its surroundings. Therefore, passing through the area of angular deficit would cause the transit time to become negative instead of 0. In other words, you'll arrive at a past after transit. If you use two cosmic strings, you do a space deficit jump. If you loop back to your original location, you return to the same time you started revolving. And that, roughly speaking, is time travel by means of cosmic strings. By the way, just so nobody misunderstands, cosmic strings are not the same as superstrings. Now then, you need three things in order to travel to a past using cosmic strings. First, the cosmic strings themselves. 2 strings to be exact. By the way, they are hypothesized to exist only where the universe was first formed, so it might be a little hard to find. Second, you need the energy required to make them move at near light speed. How much energy do you think would need to accelerate something along the Milky Way? Near light speed of light? I'm pretty sure it's a little more than 1.21 gigawatts. What the hell is a gigawatt? I like this. It's getting so many, not just anime and manga references in there as well, but originates from a 1980s trilogy of Hollywood movies about time machines and time paradoxes. The first movie, inventor of the time machine, said that it needs 1.21 gigawatts of power to travel through time. In reality, the unit gigawatt does not exist. The scriptwriter made a spelling mistake. The correct unit was actually gigawatt. What the hell is a gigawatt? Bonus points in the comments if you can name that movie. Hint. My quote, what the hell is a gigawatt, is from that movie. Yes, I've seen movies. To be fair, if I hadn't seen that movie, I'd be kind of worried. It sounds a few chuckles from the audience. Third, you need a spaceship capable of reaching these cosmic rings and returning. For time travel alive, of course. What do you think, Hoenn-san? Care to take on a challenge of cosmic string time travel? Like that's even possible. And why the hell is she addressing me? I wasn't even one of Jira time. Huh. Looks like Hoenn-san doesn't want to take a risk. In that case, let's consider wormholes. They may be a little more realistic than cosmic strings. By the way, Hoenn, do you know what wormholes are? No, don't ask me, I'm trying to hold back here. Since I'm in challenge though, I can't leave a question unanswered. It's like a shortcut through space, right? Yes, that's correct. Here, I got it right. Aren't wormholes like when you fold space and you can go between two parts of the paper? I saw him one day in relief. There are two wormholes joined by a tunnel. No matter how far away wormholes are, transit time through a tunnel is 0. But oh no, there's a problem. Wormhole tunnel suffers from supergravity and collapses as soon as it opens. So it's something to negate the effect of gravity. So-called exotic matter. A substance with negative mass with repulses of a matter. Negative matter? Something that floats if you leave it on the ground? Maybe not. Can't even begin to imagine what it would be like. Kurisu raised her right fist. Say the wormhole tunnel is being squished by an invisible fist. In order to pass through, you need something that can oppose this grabbing force so it can just squish anymore. Kurisu opens her fist. You stabilise the tunnel with exotic matter injection. Instantaneous travel between wormholes becomes possible. Travel through time, however, takes a little more effort. For example, let's say there's a wormhole entrance here in Akihabara, and the exit is LA. First, we send a wormhole in LA all the way to the end of the universe, near the speed of light. Once it's there, we yank it back to LA. How? According to a special theory of relativity, time slows down for objects moving at the speed of light, meaning the whole return to LA will be further in the past than Akihabara hole. So now if Hoenn jumped into a wormhole, he'd arrive at LA several years before he left. However, it still can't be called time travel. It only seems that way. It's called the Oshima effect. The important part is return to Akihabara from LA to a wormhole once more, so transit time is 0. Hoenn-san will return to Akihabara several years in the past. Time travel complete. The prerequisites for wormhole travel are simpler than ones for cosmic string travel. First, wormhole itself. They may exist somewhere in the universe, but no one's ever seen one. Second, the energy required to move a wormhole to the end of the universe and back at near light speed. Third, exotic matter, which, by the way, has not been confirmed to exist. So implementation of either one would require a ridiculous amount of effort. So now do you see what I meant when I say time travel is an absurd concept? Time travel theories are just thought experiments. None of them can create a viable time machine. That is my answer. Is there something simpler? Like something you can just pull out of a drawer and just use or something? I'm afraid not. A firm declaration. This is the limit of modern physics. I can't say it might change in 10 years though. Besides, if someone did overcome logistical requirements, there may be other factors that prevent time travel from working. And that's because fundamental problems are concerning a principle causality have not yet been solved. You mean time paradoxes and conservation of mass? The mass of entire universes are constant. If a time machine travelled from a future to a past, there will suddenly be the extra mass of a time machine and its pilots in the past. I remember reading a book, but not a terribly reputable book. But still, that such a violation of mass conservation would put the universe in danger. It didn't say what kind of danger though. If you think that conservation of mass applies to only macro systems like the universe and microsystems like atoms, you're mistaken. What, is that true? She's laughing at my reaction. That's little. How mortifying. Conservation of mass only applies to chemical reactions. It doesn't hold in modern physics at all. Something can come from nothing. That's pretty amazing. And what's the problem? The time paradoxes are time paradoxes. In other words, a grandfather paradox. Oh, that thing where you kill your own ancestors before you were born? As long as this paradox goes unsolved, time travel will never be realised, never. I have a theory that time travel does exist, but the universe, through all the paradoxes which it causes, will always end with a one. The true universe which we're living in will always end with a type of universe where time travel doesn't happen. But if we just don't kill them. You can't think of it like a sci-fi movie. It's not just about your family tree. There are greater dangers about that. It doesn't seem that dangerous. Any paradox, no matter how small, would cause the total collapse of causality, relativity, and every other physical law in existence. Paradoxes are nothing more than thought experiments. They cannot occur in reality, and they should not. Knowing that is even a 0.00001 chance of causing a paradox could happen. The universe won't allow it. Won't you say this is a logical conclusion? There may be loopholes, but like parallel worlds or a self-consistency principle, the those seem too much like fantasy for me to accept. I grind my teeth. When I see Makise Kurisu looking at me with a composed expression, I avert my eyes. Looks like I've got no choice but to concede. Makise Kurisu truly is a genius. And hot at that as well. I ended up listening to Kurisu's lecture at ATF. After a two-time travel theory she introduced at the beginning, she explained the rest with equal eloquence. She seemed a little nervous at first, but quickly changed as she spoke. And by the end, it was an impressive lecture, so impressive that you wouldn't think it was an 18-year-old's first time. She did well to respond to my malicious questions with sarcasm. She got guts. Wait, why am I praising her? Leaving that aside, I saw Makise Kurisu dead. And yet she is alive. My memories don't mesh with reality. And not just about Kurisu, my conversation with Daryl and Mayuri don't make sense either. Everything would be solved if I just told myself what happened and what I saw was a dream, an illusion, and it never happened. But never say never. This leaves me with no choice. After parting ways with Dao at ATF, I head to Yanabayashi Shrine. I need to get exercised. Oh, exercise montage! Oh, I want to try with exercise actually. You know what also needs to be exercised? The stop button. Bye bye.